say, here at Kajun Reseller, you give me an offer and I'll take it.
I say, this is Johnny's place, where you can have it for no problem. I got the dollars.
Fixed income, no credit, bad credit. Here at Cajun Roots Reseller, that's no problem.
Let them have it.
I've got my dollars and I sit in my best offer.
We say yes. See the special man. The easiest man on YouTube.
You got the dollars? We got the offer? Let them have it with no problem. Hello, everyone, and welcome on this Monday morning. How is everybody doing? And yes, it is a beautiful, sunny, make sure it's still there, Monday morning. How's everybody doing today? I'm going to try to type this in the chat, and I think I got it. 200 characters. That is going to be our topic for the day. I do have people behind our guests for today starting to come in. And as we go through the show, I'll bring them in as they come in. But I do have a good lineup today. So far, we have 3 behind the stage, and so we'll get them back in a few minutes. But first, I want to hurry up and say hello to everyone that's in the chat at this time. We have Miss Irene, Miss Donna, hello, and welcome. Wendy, Mr. Mike, Flipping Goodies, hello, good morning, Mel, welcome. Miss Irene, Pammy, Miss Ella. If y'all missed her show yesterday, she had a big party yesterday. It was great. So hope to see everybody going good today. Jennifer, hello. Remember, you can drop your links. And if you have any questions, I know I put it in the chat. Where did it go? I don't see it. Oh, okay, there we go. It just added me some more. Let's see. Mark, hello, good morning, and welcome. Cheryl, hello, and welcome. Mr. Tommy 2.0, The Bargain Effects, hello, and welcome. The Rolling Stones, Mr. Mark. And today's topic, by the way, and there it is. I'm going to go ahead and pin that to the top. So if anybody has any questions, I'm not putting the link in right now because we have a good lineup of people coming in. And so we'll have our topic for the day. It was asked that we do this. So therefore, I did get some people to come on in and join us. Good morning, Michael. How are you doing this morning? Good to see each and every one of y'all. Avery's all in. Hello. Craig, hello. Good morning and welcome. Myra, hello. Miss Amy, hello. The Food Forest Culture. Hello, good morning and welcome. And again, thank each and every one of y'all for coming out this morning. And yes, we do have a great lineup, and I'm going to start with bringing one on at a time so they can introduce themselves and then discuss whether they are either full-time or part-time and what platforms they sell on as they're coming in. And then if you have any questions at that time, we will go ahead and start talking about it. And so with that being said, let's go ahead. Let's see. Here is my link, Johnny. I hit a jewelry. I saw that thumbnail. I have it on my mark. I do have that in my watch later list, so I will definitely check out that. Robin, hello, Robin. Good morning, hello, and welcome. So again, if you have any questions, today it's about going full-time, when to do it, why, and all that good stuff. So first we'll start with Mr. Larry without one first. Hello, Larry. Welcome, and tell everybody about yourself and your channel.
Morning, guys. I'm Larry from Way Out One. That's my YouTube channel. I've been reselling for over 30 years, and I've been reselling on eBay for over 20 years. And I'm planning on going full-time early next year, probably February 1st right now, it looks like. That's what's going on with me.
All right. What platform do you sell on?
Oh, I sell on eBay, and I have an antique booth. Those are the only
Anything special on your YouTube channel?
I just came out with a video last Friday on the top 10 things I sold in October.
Awesome. Now we're going to add Gary to the panel. Go ahead, Gary.
Good morning, everybody. For some of you guys, probably almost midday. My name is Gary. I've been reselling on and off since about 04, 05. Back then, I was just like flipping Hot Wheels from Walmart and Target so I could have more money to put into the race car to go racing on the weekends. And then now that we've moved, I went full-time April 28th, and I've been full-time ever since. We do eBay. I have a Bonanza account linked to it, and then I do a tiny bit of Mercari. I'm just starting to open up into that. That's about it.
All right, now we're going to add Mr. Daniel, the Selling Sniper.
Oh, good morning, everybody. How you doing? Daniel here. So I sell on Amazon mostly now. I started on eBay back in 2016. I was just doing it as a way to make. I needed a job. I didn't have a job. I needed a way to make money. So I remembered as a little, not as a little kid, but as like a 10-year-old, 12-year-old, my mom was selling on eBay. So that came to my mind when I needed money. And I ran into people on YouTube. It was Raking Profit. It was Rockstar Flipper, Bonafide Hustler. I ran into them on YouTube and I saw how they made money selling used clothes. So I started going to Goodwill's, buying used clothes and taking a bunch of pictures, which I nowadays I don't take that many pictures selling on Amazon. That's why I like it. I'm more efficient selling on Amazon than selling on eBay, even though I still love selling on eBay. And yeah, I'm 34 years old. I have a 7-year-old son, a 2.5-year-old daughter, and I'm just trying to be a good provider and get out there and make that money for my children and for myself.
All right, now we're going to save some stories for a little bit later for things that you've been doing with your eBay reselling, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. So now I want to bring another Larry to the stage. You may know him in the morning shows as LL Stash. Here we go with Larry. Hello, good morning, and welcome, Larry.
How you doing, all?
All right, tell everybody a little bit about your channel. Do you sell full-time, part-time, and what platforms do you sell on?
Well, I'm my channel. I have a morning show Monday through Friday at 6:30 a.m. And on Tuesdays, I have a listing show for about 2 hours. I mean, I invite people to come on for a listing show. Help people get a little bit of work done. And on Thursdays, I have an interview show at 3 p.m. Eastern time. It only lasts for a half hour. That's not no reselling questions. It's just fun questions there. And Friday, I have we just started, me and Lisa Copper State Treasures. It's a Friday night spotlight. I took Victoria's place on that one, and that's not every week. That's only like 3 weeks out of the month, because that's when she does a show with Victoria at 9:30, something like that. And the platforms right now, I've been doing eBay, and I got into Mercari, Facebook Marketplace, and there's 2 other ones. I don't remember the names of them right now, but right now I might be ending eBay. I don't know yet. And but right now I took all the stuff out of eBay at the moment, but I might be relisting them. So, and I am full-time. I've been full-time since the Christmas. So that's how it goes with me.
All right, so today our topic is basically questions about why you decided to go full-time. Is there any particular reason? When did you decide to go full-time, and what caused you to take that step? And of course, we do have some other questions that was given to me as far as the topic for the day. I do have it pinned at the top. If you're interested in wanting to have any questions about this, or if you're interested in going full-time, wanting to know some questions about running the business and that kind of thing, and that's what we're here for. And I do have others coming throughout the show. So when they get here, I'll add them to the panel. So first of all, I want to ask and say hello, first of all, to Ghost Pirates. Hello and welcome. If I miss you, hopefully I got you in the chat, because this chat has been flying and I love it. So first thing is, again, a little bit about myself for those who may not know. I have been doing this for about 2.5 years. I started head first into it, diving into it full time. So we'll go through and let everybody talk about why they decided to go full time, what made them go full time, and if you were part time, what made you decide that? And again, someone was asking questions that sent me this topic because they wanted to know when would be the right time to go. What do you have to do to get ready to go full time? Anything about maybe health insurance? What is it you need to take yourself to that level of going full time as a business, if that's what you're doing? So first, we'll go ahead and go with Larry. If you can answer any of those topics of today's top questions. Anybody else who may have a question in the chat, go ahead and put it in the chat, and we'll get to it as soon as I see it coming in, and we'll let the panel each talk a little bit about that topic. And hello, Peddling Profits, good to see you. Jessica, hello, and welcome. And before we get started, I'm going to bring another person on that just popped in before we get started, is Mr. Bill. I'm not sure if it's Bill or if it's David. I'm still learning who's who. But Gnomes and the Frog. Hello, welcome, and good morning.
How are you guys? Good morning. Happy Monday.
Good to see you.
Happy Monday.
First, before we get started, go ahead and introduce yourself. We basically were talking so far about if you're full-time, part-time, what platforms you sell on, and a little bit about your channel.
Okay. My name is Bill Penny. My husband's Dave. And we've been doing this since early 2018. We sell on Poshmark, eBay, Mercari, a little bit of Grailed, and very, very little on Facebook Marketplace. And then I do flea markets twice a week.
And your channel on your channel. What are you doing? Your
Oh, I'm
channel?
sorry. We are Gnome and the Frog on YouTube, and on Instagram we are Gnome_Frog, and pretty much Gnome and Frog across the board.
There you go.
And we've been off YouTube for about a year, and probably going to get back into it in about another month or so. We want to get our store straightened out first.
Right, I was wondering because I know for a while you were in the chats, and then I didn't see you for a little while. Then I see you again, so that's great.
Yeah, well, it was kind of taken away from the store and the inventory, so we wanted to do an inventory check and get the store back in shape. So now it's time. I'm the social media side of the business, and Dave does
lots
all
of
the
people
numbers.
leaving eBay. Larry may be able to touch on those. Okay, yeah. I did hear about that already before, and we will talk a little bit about that. But first, let's talk about why and when, like for how long were you part-time if you were part-time first? And then how long it took you before you decided, and what made you decide to go full-time? And we'll start with you, Larry.
So I always planned on retiring and going to do YouTube full-time. Doing eBay full-time, not YouTube. YouTube I just started in January. eBay, I had planned on retiring in February of this year, but I ended up having cataracts and needed surgery, so I ended up working another year. And I told my job, they offered me a gig, and I said I would do it until July of next year, but now they're pushing that off till 2024, so I'm not going to stay that long. So I will be retiring next year in February. But it's always been my plan has been to retire and just sell on eBay and other formats. I don't sell anything else besides eBay in my antique booth right now, but I will start cross-posting once I go full-time. That's the plan anyway. I hear.
I don't know. I guess I was a heavy equipment mechanic for a really long time, and my hands just started failing me. I got one of them in a radiator fan, and after that, things kind of went downhill. I switched jobs, rebuilt hydraulic cylinders, and honestly, probably the worst place I've ever worked. Just everything about that place was bad. So we waited until we bought a house, and then after that, it's like an hour drive from where we're at now to where I worked. So, and our old house was across the street from where I worked. So every day I would make a truckload. So 37 days in, I took my extra storage tubs up there and I dumped my tools out of my toolbox into my tubs and loaded them up with the forklift. And that was it. Up until that point, we were just part-time. And I just kind of like you, just jumped straight in. I did a little bit of eBay during that time just for extra money or whatever, but I just bailed on work. I couldn't deal with it anymore, and knew I'd be way happier staying at home, being able to do this, than having to go and deal with people that I couldn't stand to be around.
Yeah. Oh, hello. So I started eBay in 2016. It was a way for me to make an income because I had gotten hired at a hospital as a phlebotomist. My background is in medical assisting. I got hired as a phlebotomist, but I made mistakes in my past. I had a DWI or two, and like 2 days before I was going to start, they told me I couldn't work there because of my record. So that devastated me, and then that's when I came up with the idea, I'm going to become an eBay seller to make money. That was in 2016. I started off with used clothes, and then later on, I went to school for X-ray tech, and I graduated that. But it was hard for me to find a job as an X-ray tech with those DWIs still. So that wasn't smart on my part going into the medical field. And I started working in the oil field in like 2017, 2018. I was a logistics supervisor at a sand mine. I also drove heavy equipment. Just like Rampage was a mechanic, I drove the front end loaders and Caterpillars, the little Bobcats too, the skid steers. And I did that for 2 years. My first year, I made like $6,000 a month. The second year, they cut that in half. I was making less than $3,000. And one day, I just decided I was stressed out because I had gotten used to living off of the $5,000-6,000 a month. That all my bills were accumulating. So I got stressed out. The girl I was with at that time, we have a baby together, our daughter. She called me all stressed out, and I just quit my job. it was out of emotion. It wasn't responsible. So I'm actually the what you're not supposed to do. You're not supposed to just up and quit your job, but I did it, and it actually forced me to figure out ways to make money. It forced me to become successful at reselling. So now I do mostly Amazon, and I'm seeing how efficient it can be. I don't work that hard. I mean, I do work a little bit hard, but I worked harder when I sold on eBay. Now that I sell on Amazon, I'm working smarter, and I'm not really working that hard at all. And I'm seeing the money is starting to come in. So this is my best month that I've ever had. And yeah, name's Daniel. Nice to meet y'all.
All right, Larry, same question for you.
Probably why I started, I guess.
Well, the main thing was with you, how long were you part-time? Because I know you used to work a job, but how long were you at part-time, and what made you go full-time?
Oh, my God. How long was I at part-time? I could not tell you that because pretty much my sister started it, and I took it over. I don't remember how long ago that was. Well, I was driving a school van for school students, and that was for 10, 12 years, something like that. And then I left that job and I started driving for a regular school district. And I think it was last year, I just, during the winter and Christmas time there, they were shutting down so much because when the pandemic was starting. And I was pretty much part-time for just a couple of years, and that schedule there, working for a school district, was really messed up. You'd work in the morning for about 2 hours. I come home for an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, go back out for noontime, take them home, and come home for an hour and go back out and take the kids home. So, yeah, I mean, the hours were pretty messed up. We couldn't really do anything but part-time. And then I guess, yeah, during the Christmas time, they shut down for a couple of times during the pandemic. And there was just a little voice inside me was talking to me. And sometimes I don't listen to it. And I usually get myself in trouble if I don't, saying I should have listened to that voice. And this time it just told me to, we were on break, and it just told me to leave that job and go full-time on eBay. So I sent my boss a text message during the Christmas time off, and he replied back to me about 1 or 2 days later saying, "Are you quitting?" And I was thinking about it. I waited about 1 or 2 days, and I said yes. And I pretty much never went back, and I just stayed full time, and I enjoy it because I don't have to hopefully ask for permission for vacation to be able to go anywhere. And, be able, to have, maybe get rejected or you can't do this, do that. And I mean, I've been enjoying it because I've been to 2 meetups. I mean, I'm my boss. So, yeah, if I want to put a permission slip in with me, I can automatically approve it. So.
Right. Okay, Bill, the same question.
Pretty much. I worked in the grocery business for 37 years, and I tried to do it a weekend store with my ex-wife, but it kind of didn't work out. 2008 hit, everything went belly up, so I put it on the back burner. The place I worked at went bankrupt, they closed. I moved out here, got a job, and one of the coworkers started talking about eBay, and the light bulb went on. Gave me Rockstar Flipper to follow. Listened to him for about 3 or 4 months. Just listened and listened and listened. Finally opened up a store. Took $20. Bought a game. Sold it like within a week. I bought a Brothers printer for like $5. We made $80 profit. Dave was like, "No way." So we just listened and listened and listened. Built the store up for 2 years. Didn't spend any of the money. Continued to work. We hit a safe place where Dave could leave because I was getting a pension. So I stayed part-time. COVID hit, and I went full-time, and we followed Dave Ramsey, worked our butts off for a year, paid off all our debt, got a nice nest egg of 6 months put away, and then we knew it was time.
Awesome. All right, everyone, I'm bringing it right back because we have another guest that just came in, and y'all know him. I love his story. He's got me always thinking of what to do next, think outside the box. And so let's welcome a man who has given his time, showing us he can do what he's showing everybody what he can do, and it is a true honor to have Mr. Dante himself, Risen the Prophet. Good morning.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on, guys? How are y'all doing?
Okay, so far we had everybody introduce themselves, talk a little bit about if you do full-time, part-time, how long you've been doing it, and your platforms you sell on, and a little bit about your channel. So being you missed that portion, go ahead and do that right now, Dante.
Okay, yeah, for the record, I've been here since the start. I've been watching all y'all. I just don't want to type in the chat because I know how that can get. But thank you so much for inviting me again, and everybody has some great stories. I am just Dante, simple guy. Did some time in prison, came home from prison. Discovered this reselling journey after I was working at a regular job. I was a manager at a job making like 60 grand a year. Then I discovered reselling. And if we know anything about working a 9 to 5, like you don't have your time. And especially me, I was a manager. I was on salary. So my hours were whenever they needed me. And that's just kind of stressful. Discovered people selling online. So I decided to join. I've been a reseller for 3 years, full time for about 2 years now. I sell on, when I first started out, I sold on every platform, Mercari, LetGo, OfferUp, Facebook. I mean, if it was a platform out there, I tried to sell on it, Poshmark and everything. But I learned like that for me, it's unnecessary. I mean, just for me, you just pick a few platforms that you're really good at and just stick to those. So right now I sell on Mercari, Amazon, and just eBay for the most part. That's it, nothing else. I do go to the flea markets during the summertime and sell out there sometimes. And I do have yard sales frequently, but yeah, I think that's pretty much all I can say right now.
All right. I want to go ahead and cover this question that was in the chat because, again, Larry spoke about it and a few other people have been doing it. So we want to bring this topic up in reference to why are people leaving eBay? And for me, I hear different stories from different people. For me, I have no issues with the fees because eBay has been good for me from day one. Yes, I have started on Amazon, but for me, I get less than 8% of my fees. So I guess it's not only because of how hard I work, how much I list, and how much I sell, but for me, it's okay. So if anyone did and you're thinking about quitting eBay, what is the situation on why you're quitting and giving people ideas, a little bit of different aspects of the eBay situation. And before we go forward with that one, I want to bring on, we have Victoria coming in. Hello, Victoria. Welcome.
Hey, you guys.
And again, we're talking in reference to introducing each other, how long you've been doing reselling, and how long it took you to decide to go full-time, and if you are, what platform to sell on, and a little bit about your channel. You're up.
Okay. Oh, here I am. I'm Victoria. I have Adventures with Victoria channel. I've been reselling on and off since my son was a baby, and he's now 24 or 25. I don't remember right off, but yeah, he'll be 25. So I've been selling on and off over the years. But in 2019, I was selling. It was like a home party type thing. And I went to their convention. I'm just telling you the story of what happened. Hold on. Let me back up a little bit. I started selling on eBay and Poshmark. Well, actually, it was just Poshmark at that time. I started selling on Poshmark, and I was selling this jewelry. And so I went to their convention. And my mom went with me, and it was a really, really motivational convention, but not for what they wanted me to sell. After the convention, I told Mom, I said, you know what? I'm going to stop selling this jewelry, and I'm going to go full-time or part-time into Poshmark. So that's what I did. I quit their company. It was very motivational for me, but not the way they wanted. So I went full-time into resell, or part-time at the time into reselling, sold on Poshmark. And then I told my boss, because I had a full-time job, I told my boss, I said, okay, I'm going to stop. I'm going to quit. Not quit, but I want my hours to be part-time instead of full-time so that I could spend half of my time on, building up my Poshmark. So that's what I did. I went part-time at the shop. And I don't know, about 6 months later, I quit and went full-time with Poshmark. And by that time, I think I had added in eBay. Since then, I have taken my stuff off of Poshmark and eBay, and now I'm 100% on Amazon until I get a handle on it, because I just recently started that within the last month or so. And then once I get a handle on it, I'll start back on the other platforms. But it's kicking my butt. I mean, all my time is going towards Amazon and my auctions right now. So that's where I am right now. and that's who
All
I
right.
am.
Okay, so the topic at hand right now, and I'm going through the chat, and as I said, another topic added to the reselling situation. The question at hand right now is, why are some people going to start quitting eBay and getting off that platform? So I have no plans on ending it or leaving it. Because of my rates are only 8%, and I'm doing really well, but I'm constantly listing. So is anyone on the platform decided to or thinking about it, or at least rolling down your eBay stores? And if so, why?
I just quit mine.
Okay, go ahead.
I just took all my stuff off of eBay.
And what was the reason for that?
Number one, because I'm really busy with Amazon right now and I couldn't keep up with it. And number two, all the changes that eBay are making, and this is my own personal decision. I don't want, you don't take your stuff off of eBay just because I did.
Right.
That's not what I'm saying. This was my personal decision to, I might go back to eBay, but right now I just don't like some of the things that are happening at eBay. I don't like the returns and all that crap. I don't like that they can return stuff even after the return policy has ended, and it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? They're still gonna ding me for it, or I have to pay the return because I have free returns. So, or I had free returns. So that was my decision. Now, am I saying I will never go back? No, I'm not saying that. Right. Never burn a bridge. Never burn your bridges. But for me, I think I'm going to go over on Mercari after I get a handle on Amazon.
Okay. Anyone else? I think.
The thing that made mine right now, the decision was I watched The Auction Professor a few days ago, and it was like about a 26-minute video, and he was talking about eBay, and he even showed where he got his information from. And he's not really, even though he's a big seller on there, he said right now, I guess the guy who is running it does not belong running it, because he has no idea what he got into, and he shows where he got his information from. And I didn't really quit eBay yet. I just unlisted all my, took all my actives out, and they're in the unsold at the moment, so I can relist them. But yeah, I was watching him, and he got me to thinking about, because he said they're taking the fees up, and he said they're going to go up even further. And he's concentrating more on the big time sellers, the ones that are selling $500 boots, $600 shirts, and they're not dealing with the smaller guys, the ones that are bringing them small money. And I just kept listening to him, and he was starting to get into my head. I don't know if it was a good thing or not, but yeah, I don't usually watch his videos too much, but I saw his thumbnail on it and I decided to watch it. And so I decided to jump on other platforms. There's four other platforms I jumped on, and I'm going to see what happens with those. And that's where my decision came from at the moment. I could relist the unsold stuff with no problem, but yeah, for now, I stopped selling on there at the moment. So.
All right. What I want to say too also is, while we are going through the different questions and everybody's telling you what they're doing, remember one thing: everyone's business is different in the way they run it because of what they have going on for them. Remembering that you may take a little bit from each person and see what might fit for you, like a puzzle, but it doesn't say that it's right or wrong. We just need to know that you can understand that everybody has their reasons for things. But again, don't do something because somebody else is doing it. Do it if it fits your business plan, your way of thinking for your business, because again, only you can fix that puzzle to work in a smooth how they call that, a smooth motor, running as a good motor for you. So always remember that when you're thinking about what to do and what not to do. So the next topic at hand, go ahead.
Johnny, can I the flippin' sports guy, Paul, he made a very good observation. And yes, can I address that real fast? Yeah. He says, doesn't Amazon do the same thing with returns? Only difference is they handle it. For me, that's a huge difference, because I don't like, you guys know I don't like drama. And when somebody is mad at me with a return, I feel it like deep in my heart, and I just don't like dealing with that side of customer service. So for me, with Amazon handling it, it makes my life so much less stressful. So, but that's, again, like Johnny said, that's just for me. Other people may have no problems handling, you know, that type of customer service and that type of stuff. But for me, it works for me. So.
Okay. Now, the next topic I wanted to bring up at hand that I saw in the chat was, let me get back to it real quick. I'm going up and down in the scrolling to make sure I don't miss anybody. It was insurance. And I can't seem to get to it. I can't find it. Why, I don't know, but I had it at the moment. And it's
the nicety seller, she was like, so since many of you become full-time abruptly, when it comes to things like health insurance, life insurance, car insurance, and your fees, how do you go about setting up for yourself?
Okay, go ahead. Anybody wants to take care of that? We'll talk with you, Dante, if you want.
Yeah, I want to kind of touch on that eBay thing too, man. The first question.
Yeah.
Can I talk about, okay. So for the first thing about everybody saying they're going to jump off eBay, the only thing I would say is eBay is the number 2 platform, and that will never slow down. Like, eBay is not slowing down. When it comes to like fees on Amazon has some outrageous fees as well. Always, if you go in thinking like fees are going to be a problem for any platform that you sell, because I hear that a lot. Like, everybody's always talking about fees. That means your profit margins need to like increase, or you need to like be picky about the items that you're actually sourcing, in my opinion. Obviously, I'm not going to tell anybody not to quit eBay if they don't like eBay, but seriously think about that. Like, if you're considering being a full-time reseller, like, eBay should be one of the main. If you're not on eBay, you should be on Amazon. I mean, I don't care if you're on 25 different platforms, you need to be on one of those, because they're the top 2. They're not slowing down. Everybody's out there trying to tell you that Facebook Marketplace is about to be the second biggest platform. No, it's not. It's not true. Everybody who put those videos out, they lied to you. Mercari is growing, and Mercari will be up there eventually, but it will never surpass eBay. Like, people think eBay immediately when they think about used items for sale. They don't even think about Amazon. People think about Amazon when they think about like newer items. So just consider that, man. Like, you want to be on the platforms that's going to be best for your business, and whatever your business model is. And just eBay should definitely be a consideration. And I agree with Johnny when he said, please don't listen to nobody else's advice. Go back. You watched that one video and he said he was going to quit eBay. Go back and see why. You know, like, he's probably had so many other videos that he just don't like eBay. He could be just a person who just don't like eBay. But never let the fees take you back from selling on eBay, because every platform is going to have fees. Every platform fees increase every single year. Has already increased. Facebook Marketplace, they have already increased. So no matter what you sell on, it's going to increase. And as far as the health insurance and everything like that for a full-time reseller, so boom, very simple. Car insurance and stuff like that, you have to worry about regardless. Like, you have to worry about that regardless. So the health insurance part, I can take the same money that my company, so my deductible at work was only like $100 and something bucks for my health insurance. Now, if I decide to go get health insurance, for me, I feel it's expensive. It's like $3 and some change a month. But for me, I also know I can go out there and make an extra $300 a month being a reseller.
Right.
So, and I also look at like, my time is way more valuable than working for somebody else just because they say they're giving me health insurance and they're giving me 2 weeks paid vacation a year. Like, my life is more important than all of that. Like, I can go afford my own health insurance being a full-time reseller. A lot of resellers, if you're doing this right, we're making more money than people who work in 9-to-5s, and that's just being real. So you should be able to save that money and put that money aside for your health insurance if that's something you feel like you need to have. Right. That's my opinion on the health insurance thing.
Well, the reason I want to bring that up too is because not only was Missy asking about it, but Mark made a good point about the health insurance. He's 65 and he's on Medicare. So again, everybody is different. There's going to be a plan that works best for you. So again, Mark, Larry first, go ahead and tell anybody about that portion of as far as you're muted. Go ahead. I got you.
All right. Thank you. So insurance, the place I work for is going to let me take my insurance. I have to pay $375 a month. So I'm going to have that until I get to 65 for Medicare. So that's my insurance is covered due to the company I work for having a pretty good health benefit, and they let me take it with them. Does not include dental or eye care, which is why I had to stay to get my cataracts operated on. I also want to talk about eBay and the auction professor thing. So the auction professor said that like 50% of his sales is still through eBay. So he still sells a lot of stuff through eBay. I think I agree with what Dante said completely on everything he said about it. And I sell used items, so I definitely am a used reseller. But I think you should either be on Amazon or eBay. I think that's 100%. You should be on one of the two big ones. It makes the most sense. All right, that's it.
Okay, Gary, I'm just reading the chat. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
As of right now, I had health insurance when I left work. My wife had health insurance, and we haven't set that up yet. Now that I don't work on stuff, I've got a lot better odds of not getting hurt, and I've so far never had any other health problems. But I did get my glasses. I got an extra pair of glasses. I got all my dental work done before I left, so it wasn't a full I'm out today. Like, I did kind of prep some of that before everything happened. And the other thing, like Dante was saying about the eBay fees, I don't do Amazon. I actually don't buy off of Amazon. I don't do any. I did, and then we had some issues at the beginning of the year when I tried to set up my seller account. So I don't do anything with Amazon at all anymore. But it is a thing too. If I do mostly used stuff, and when we hit the sales, I got to take that into consideration. Like, you know, I need to make the most I can off of this stuff. So I need to get stuff cheaper. Most of the time I don't have to talk anybody down on price. I don't like doing that. But like I showed you before the show, we got that Game Boy in the game. My wife spent $5 and I sold the Game Boy for $150 and the game sells for $100. So I try to I mostly do video games. So my thing is there can be a lot of profit in certain games. And that's what I, for the most part, look for. But we started clothes and a little bit of everything. Now that we're more situated, we can jump into sporting goods stuff and everything else just a little bit just to try it out. But yeah, as of right now, we don't have anything set up. We're trying to make it past Christmas when things slow down a little bit and then get all that set up.
All right, Daniel, same topic about insurance and eBay if you have to. Go ahead.
Currently, I don't have health insurance. I've been thinking about it a lot recently, though. But we, as you know, as online sellers, if you do it the right way, you're doing a Schedule C. You're doing profit and loss statements every year. You're self-employed. You should be able to get some sort of self-employed health insurance. And, you know, we have Google. Just Google it. I'm sure you'll find something. I'm sure if I really wanted to find health insurance, I can. So that's something I need to do in the future. And as eBay, I'll probably never get off eBay. I still love it. As an Amazon seller, if I'm restricted in something on Amazon, if I'm restricted in even a book, because I find books all the time. If I'm restricted in that book, I can't sell it on Amazon. I just hop on eBay. I sell it on eBay. And somebody who's not restricted in that category could go back on Amazon and sell it. And, you know, the world keeps going around. We keep making money. And they supplement each other. Like, I had a book that the cover was ripped. I didn't feel like selling it on Amazon. I didn't feel like selling it to their customers. So I put it on eBay. I made a eBay listing. I showed them the cover's ripped. On Amazon, it goes for $50. I'm giving it to you for $20 here on eBay. It sold within like 30 minutes on eBay. So I think just don't keep all your eggs in one basket. And Amazon and eBay, to me, why not? You have the best chance of making the most money on both platforms. So I know Amazon's taking out a bunch of retailers because people are not willing to adapt and change. So I'm not going to be one of those people that's just sitting around not willing to adapt. So that's all I got to say for now.
All right, Larry, the same topic about the insurance. You muted.
See, the health insurance, I'm getting that through the VA, so that's not too awful bad. But other than that, it's just the car insurance that I'm pretty much paying wise, insurance wise.
Right. All right, Victoria, you.
Sorry. Yeah, health insurance I get through my husband's job, so that's really not I mean, if he wasn't getting it, yeah, it would be a big concern since I'm a diabetic, but I can't really talk on that because I get it through his job.
Right. Well, at least you have it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Bill, we're going to bring you back. And same time, we're talking in reference to the insurance on for yourself.
Well, as far as the insurance is concerned, we pretty much qualified for the for the government programs that are there. But this year, because of the money that we'll be making, we have to further investigate what we're going to carry for next year. But I mean, both of us are in great health, so we were able to do that part. And as far as the eBay is concerned, I look at it as though as if you're in a antique mall or something and they raise the rent and you're doing $1,000 and they're charging an extra $15-20 a month and you're still making bank, why not stay? I take advantage of, got to take advantage of some of the stuff, even though it's like, oh, it's ripping into my profits. The promotions, the new coupon tag that they're doing now, even, all the different stuff that they have to offer. If you just put a little bit of that money into your price, you can make it up at the end. I have a good friend of mine. She did like 65,000 and paid like, I don't know, 4,000 in fees. So, the benefits are there if you just use it properly.
Exactly. Now I want to cover what Rachel just put in the chat. I saw earlier. I'm trying to go through the chat and a lot of people are saying hello to each other in comments. But again, no platform will ever be perfect. I can't imagine quitting a platform with so many buyers and so many potentials, just me personally. And that is so true. Again, everyone is different. And everybody has their own reasons. But again, it's what you need for your business. And like in the situation with the comments of the topic in reference to how do you plan? That's one of the things that's only fitting for you. When would be the right time for you to go full-time? Are you eligible to go full-time? Do you have all your ducks in a row? You got to also remember, as a business, for those who are running it as a business, there's a lot you can deduct. So you have to keep track of your cost of goods, your expenses. All of that's going to help you in the long run. If you want to be a selling platform running exactly what you want, you might want to start your own website. That's true too. Because any platform you're going to go on, it will cost you. No matter if it's a monthly fee, a yearly fee, listing fees, whatever the case may be. My husband does eBay. The chances of the storage here and keeping me judging me to eBay card. Yeah, and every platform is different, so it all depends on what you feel best, on what platforms work best for you. I was looking at it this way: the more you do the grinding and the hustling and the hard work, no matter what platform you are on, it will work for you as long as you get it to work for yourself and get it to where you need it. And again, not every platform is perfect for everyone. Let's see.
Can I say something, Johnny?
Pros and cons. Yep, and that's anything you do. If you have any questions for the panel, please go ahead and put it in the chat. We're talking in reference to the topic. It is in the top in the blue box. So if you want to be part of it and ask any questions, I will try to make sure I get to it as fast as this chat is going. I'm trying to make sure I get everybody. Let's see, eBay fees are still small. Exactly. And that's basically what you're going to use. So since many of you become full-time abruptly, when it comes to those things like health insurance, life insurance, car insurance, fees, and like Dante said, that's part of your life already. So it should be part of a business plan when you're doing your business as well as part of an expense.
Can I say something, Johnny?
Have you been forced to take return for the return period? Hello, Mike, by the way. Victoria, the Amazon returns, we do have to go back. Okay, that's the one you addressed it already.
Can I say something, Johnny?
Your business as depending on what you're doing in private. Yep, exactly. So if anybody else has any comments or questions, please make sure you put it in the chat. Now, one of the things I do want to cover as far as the benefits of selling online, even if you are not yet a full-timer or you did go full-time. And I know I want to say this because I already know Daniel's story because I've been watching a lot of his videos. I'm very amazed at the way he's been doing Amazon. I just recently started Amazon, and I'm a type of person, if I'm going somewhere and I'm sourcing and scanning to see if I can do it on the Amazon first. If I'm restricted, then I'm going to eBay. And so that has been helping me lately. And again, I'm going to hit the road running because I am determined to make this work. I've been so far lucky and blessed to the point of when I listed my first listing on Amazon, I sold all 13 books in the first day. I was blown away. So that hooked me right there, just like when you get your first cha-ching on eBay. So the more you put into it, the more you're going to receive out of it. So my topic question for this round is, what has your benefits of selling on any platform with the benefits of the money you're making? And the only reason I'm saying this is because I already know Daniel's story, but I want him to talk about it as well, of what you've been able to accomplish by selling on platforms online. We'll start with you, Larry. a way out.
Come on. Bill had a comment from before. Can we see what Bill wanted to say when you were talking?
Bill. There you go. Bill?
No, I just wanted to comment on the reselling and knowing the right time and that kind of stuff. I went to, I don't know if everybody's familiar with Flippin' Hippo. I met her through YouTube, and we personally went and had lunch with her. And she brought up Dave Ramsey. And I brought it home, listened to it for a little bit, and then Dave caught on, and we just followed his program, and we worked, and we didn't touch our money for 2 years, and we just kept reinvesting our money. And when we got to a platform where one paycheck was being covered through eBay, and then the other paycheck was being covered just by work, and that's when Dave decided to go full time. And then when we got a plateau where we were reaching eBay and all our platform status of profiting enough for to pay our bills at the end of the month, that's when we decided to both quit and go full time. And that's just all I wanted to say.
Now, I also want to point out real quick before we go around, I saw that Peddling Profit says they've been part-time since 1978, 79, started full-time in 1980. Everybody has their different stories, but again, it's how much time and what you put into it. And I saw a comment with Dante in the chat in reference to quality items over quantity anyway. The items that don't sell, even though some people tell you everything does. I'm going to talk about that the next question around. So, Larry, go ahead and talk about that topic.
All right, what's the topic? I forgot.
We're talking. Oh Lord, I don't forgot already what that was. Oh, the thing was in reference to what has been the best thing of, like, for example, for me, I wanted to talk more about what have you successfully done by reselling that keeps you going and motivated. And the reason I'm saying that is because Daniel has a great story that he just did in one of his videos, reference to what he did through only the money he made through reselling.
Okay. So I've been reselling for a long time. I have been selling on eBay since 98, and I've only been, like, the money I made for the first 20 years on eBay, I just took vacations with, basically. I would make $1,000 a month. So I'd make around 12 grand in a year on eBay for, I don't know, 10 or 15 years. And I would just take that money and go on vacations. And then I decided that I wanted to be serious about it and possibly go, and I was shooting towards going to full time, and watched a bunch of YouTube videos and seeing how people were, what type of things people were buying that I was not buying. And it made me change my business model. I stopped going to thrift stores and only started hitting garage sales and estate sales. And it's really increased the type of items that I sell. My profit margins are a lot better. And I used to have, I don't know, $10,000 worth of inventory in my eBay store. My eBay store now has about $45,000 worth of inventory. So just changing my processes to go to full-time. And so this year, because I knew I was going to go full-time, I've saved every dime from eBay. So I have over $30,000 saved from just doing eBay this year.
All right. Gary?
Sorry, I was listening to what you were saying about how much you had set back and doing the vacations and spaced out. Well, what's our question again? I'm sorry.
Okay, that's okay. What we're talking about is things that have helped you since you started reselling. What is the benefits of what you've been doing now with the money you've been making, and any good thing that come out of it from you reselling?
Gotcha. Like I said, the first, I don't know, since I started doing eBay up until COVID hit, all that money that I was getting, the little bit here and there, I used to race, and I had a group that we hung out with, and my thing was I would fix their cars and they would pay me, and then I would put that money into my car to make my car faster than theirs. And then I started doing eBay because I didn't have to beat my hands up so bad. I wasn't constantly working on cars. That's where I started at. So that, for me, that was the first benefit, was being able to go racing and not have to be dirty all the time and be tired all the time. But for now, I mean, now we're just doing it to pay the bills and get a little bit ahead. Because when we quit, we had the house payment. We had 2 car payments because we had bought a truck so we could get bigger items and to help, because we knew we were going to be moving. So we went ahead and got a full-size truck. And my whole thing with getting that was, personally, when I was working, I am not going to make a payment on this truck. eBay is going to pay for this truck. So that was the whole thing that got me started. And everybody I worked with thought I was crazy. And to this day, I still technically have not made a payment on the truck. And we've had the truck over a year.
That's
so,
awesome.
So right now it's just paying the bills and getting a little bit ahead. We've been doing remodeling. I built my wife's office. I think we're going to be shortening our garage more and building another shelf unit. So I might be having to put another garage up and using the eBay money to do that to get my race truck back inside. Who knows?
All right.
But that's what we've been doing with it.
All right, Daniel.
Well, from reselling, what was it, success? Like what we've been able to accomplish? So I guess the story you're talking about is I paid off my vehicle. I mean,
yep.
I was just really happy about it because a car payment, you know, that eats out of the money, the capital you could invest in your business. So it took me 3 years. I had bad credit when I got that car. I had a few cars back then, but I ended up keeping that car, and I got it for like $11,500, and I had like 18% interest. So that was crazy ridiculous. And I never refinanced it, and I paid it off. It was like $18,000 when I calculated the interest and everything. So yeah, I overpaid, but I'm just happy I got rid of that. I learned my lesson. And also, when you sell online, it's like sounds weird, but it's like a dopamine fix because you're being rewarded for every sale you make. Everything you send into Amazon, or you sell on eBay or Mercari or Poshmark, you get a reward from that. You get money, and you get your little dopamine fix, and you feel good all the time. You don't have to listen to a boss, and you basically create your own life, your own schedule. And I wouldn't, now that I know that I could do this and this is a possibility, I don't see myself ever going back to being, you know, part of the system, I guess. But I like being part of my own system and being my own boss, and I'm not going to stop.
All right, Larry.
I guess I'm short and sweet. I like to travel, and the platform's been paying for that.
Awesome. All right, Dante.
The benefits for me basically is yeah, I got to like work my own schedule. I get to work my own schedule when I want to work. That's what it's about. It's about quality of life for me. That's what this reselling journey opened up to. Just being able to, man, like I said, the stress of not having to work. For me, it's not even financial, man. Like, you know, it's not even, obviously we all need money to live. That's common sense. But for me, it's just about, man, I was so stressed working for somebody else, man. And I'm already, like, me as a manager, I'm like one of the worst managers in the world because I'm the manager who's going to actually make you do work. So I put that pressure on myself now as a reseller. So it's like, man, like it's just overall just that freedom that I have, being able to do what I want to do, spend my time wisely, and knowing like every day I go into any store, I can find an item for profit, man. And it's just, like you said, it's that dopamine too, man. I love that feeling, man. Like I love being able to find an item and knowing that I'm the one who thought it was going to sell, and then it sells. There's no better feeling in the world, man.
Exactly. Okay, Victoria.
For me, yeah, the dopamine is huge. The dopamine rush is huge. But for me, it's just, I always wanted to own my own business. I just never knew what to do. I tried, you know, selling like the party type stuff that never worked out, never works out. So that's a huge thing for me, is that I actually have my own business. And then right now what I'm doing with the money is I'm taking a small portion of it and paying off credit cards. And then the rest is getting sent right back in to get more inventory. So we don't really have anything, like we haven't taken any vacations or anything like that with my income yet. But I know that eventually we will be able to, once I get a big portion of inventory into Amazon.
Right. All right, Bill.
Yeah, I'm also the same as Victoria. The reselling has always been in my blood, just never had the right combination of getting it done. And since we've been doing this, it's a great feeling. I was working, the job I was at was a mandatory 12-hour days. So sometimes you do 5, 6, 12-hour days. No time for even to clean your house. Since doing this, we're both full time. I get up in the morning And I come downstairs. My office is right there in the living room. I spent 10 days with my grandchildren because I was able to watch them while my kids went away. We just came back from a 2-week trip over to Vegas and back, met a couple cool people and made sales, picked product up on the way, and we've already sold some of the stuff that we've bought. So it's just the freedom. You know, we had a friend of ours had a car emergency. We were able to just, you know, we'll be there in an hour and go help them out. So now we're trying to work on doing things for the community.
There you go. All that freedom.
Yeah.
Now before I go to the next person who's coming in the chat in the back room, then I'm gonna talk about the next question after we get them in here. One of the things I want to say too, whenever you start doing this I've been working for myself for years, since 2005 when I went into the business for myself. One of the things you learn is to manage what you have coming in, let it grow for you, especially in this type of business. Let it grow for you and keep putting it into your business to where you can also buy more inventory. The more you sell, the more you buy, the more you can buy even more. And you find other ways, wholesale wise, to buy things for yourself to make that grow for you as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring on the next panel guest. I know his story. I've been there from the beginning. So we're going to add him to the story where he has also quit his job full time to go and be a reseller. And that is the man, the myth, the voice, Patrick.
Why, yes, hello, and good morning to you all.
So tell everybody a little bit about your story, about what made you go full time, and what platforms you sell on, and a little bit about your channel real quick.
Alrighty. Well, what inspired me to quit my job was that I was getting sick and tired of said job. I'd been hanging out in this community. I found this community, and I'd been watching a bunch of videos, and I was selling part-time on eBay, and the stories that I hear of people doing this full-time, the support of the community. My company switched hands, switched ownerships, and that's what really it was about 3 months in. I was going to give these guys 6 months. After 3 months in, it just went downhill, for lack of a better term. I don't want to go into too much details. Was I ready? Was everything set to go full time? No. My mental health was important, and I just had enough. And I knew that I kind of jumped into it knowing that I know that things aren't set up the way they should be, but I know I can grow and I can build on it. And I have support of this community, which has been very welcome, very awesome. And this is where I am. So I sell on eBay. I sell here on YouTube. I've met a great bunch of people, again, that supported that community. I've got involved. Ask me if I was doing, how do I want to phrase this? If you would have asked me a year ago or even 6 months ago, would I be selling 2 o'clock in the morning on a YouTube auction stuff that I like to sell and people like to buy it? No, absolutely not. It wasn't even in, like, even when I quit my job, I didn't foresee myself doing this, and I'm having fun. I'm having a blast. Met a great bunch of people, and for me, it's just been a night and day difference.
All right, I'm bringing everybody back real quick, and I'm watching the chat and listening to everything that everybody's saying because I'm watching different comments. For example, I saw where, and I'm not going to highlight it in the chat because I'm right where I want to be with my next topic with a question in the chat. For example, one woman says, I'm trying to do the reselling thing because that's how my mother raised 8 kids and a husband with cancer. If there's a will, there's a way. I've always heard that from my mother and my grandmother. And then also Rachel made some comments. So keep an eye on the comments in the chat because they're making some great points. Again, everybody is different, but the next topic for everyone is, I'm going to leave it up here. Sharon, Missy wants to know, the question she really has is, how do you factor in all of in money-wise, whether it's insurance, how to run your business, all this kind of stuff you have to do in your business plan? Now, remember, if you're a first-time business owner and you're trying to go into business, I'm going to tell you right now, when you go to apply for a loan for a business, you have to have a business plan. So with that business plan, you have to cover all your expenses that you know that may run to take and run a business. So the question is basically, how do you factor all that into your business plan when it comes to all these other things that you have to tend to running a business. So whoever wants to go first.
So I think literally you should just write, okay, here's what I did. I started reselling with $30, $30. So, but you need to write down all of your expenses, like everything that you like to do in a month. I'm talking about even the small stuff. So for the next week, what I would recommend you doing is just having a notepad in your car or by you at all times. If you walk in the store and if you buy you a Mountain Dew, write it down on your notepad. I don't care if you buy you a Snickers bar. And then when that week is over with, average out exactly how much you spent every single day, and then add all your bills to that. And then you'll know exactly the budget that you need for your month. That will let you know exactly how hard you need to grind or what kind of income that you need to be bringing in. Because not only did you not think about your bills, because a lot of people only think about their bills. They don't think about the simple things in life that they do. Like everybody stops at a convenience store. Everybody needs gas. Everybody spends reckless money on small stuff, snacks, cigarettes, just small stuff. So like you really need to, every dollar needs to count. Like every dollar needs to have a place before it even comes to your pocket. So again, just once you have your budget plan and everything laid out, then after that, like it's all on you, because only you know what you need to make yourself survive. Like you can ask us all the questions in the world and we can give you all of our opinions, but you're the only one who knows like what's it really going to take for you. Because for me, I can survive off $2,000 a month. Like that's what I can survive off. I can really survive off like $1,500 a month. The next man who lives in California, they may need $6,000 a month to survive off of. So that's where you're gonna have to figure that out for yourself as well. And when you start out, every dollar that you put in your business, like don't touch it. Like I'm telling you, like I literally took $30. I went reselling with $30, and that $30 built whatever empire or whatever you want to call it that I have today. So I know it's possible. It's just, I know it's going to be scary, and I know that's why you're asking a lot of questions, because it's scary. It's still scary for me, and I've been doing this for 2 years. And I'm comfortable. Like even the days I don't make sales, like I'm still comfortable because I know that I have the skills within me. Once you have the skill to know that you can go out there and find those products, everything else is going to come. Like your bills, all that's going to come, because you're going to know what you need to go out there to source for to be able to survive and live. So at the end of the day, you just need to figure out exactly how much money you need to survive first. And then go from there.
Anyone else?
I just wanted to touch on what Dante was saying. The not touching your money. I am almost the same exact story as Dante is. Started with $20, and I come down here every morning and just like look at my office with 3,000 items sitting in it, and just what we have created from nothing. You just have to. And I'm just repeating what everybody's saying. The budget, it's very important to have that budget. We have an envelope system. We have a budget for the store. We know what percentage has to be taken out when we pull our draw for taxes. So we have envelopes for all that. So the organization is a big thing that I had to work on. Dave already had the skills because he was in office work. So it took a lot of frustration, arguing, and but again, the benefits of it is just, we wake up every morning blessed in tears sometimes, and just to see what we have.
Exactly. Okay, Larry.
So a little different situation for me. When I got divorced, I used eBay to get out of the debt I got from divorce. So I worked my tush off for 2 years and got out of the debt that I had gained with my ex-wife, and was able to get all my bills paid off, but worked really, really hard for 2 years to get to that point. And then I just got into a mode where I was happy to make, like I said, $1,000 a month, and just got flat on doing that. But it's really how much energy you want to put into it is how you can get more money out of it. The more energy you put into it, the better, the more return you're going to get. I also was going to suggest, I really agree with what Bill's been saying about Dave Ramsey, making sure you get your bills paid off, doing all that stuff before you go full-time. I think that's a really good path if you can get there. And again, Dante was making money on the side and then decided he could quit his job and do the same thing. But the Hustling Hooks has a great video that says 6 months after going full-time that people should watch if you're thinking about going full-time. I highly recommend that video. And again, they tell the same thing about making sure all their debts are paid off before they went. But that's a really good video to watch.
Right. Also, what I would like to say too, on if for my situation, I didn't put no money into it. For those who are just starting out, if you never did it before, one of the things I always recommend is when I was moving from Louisiana to Massachusetts, and I knew this is what I was going to do, and I started purging the house and packing, I would take things that was never opened, never touched for the last 6 months that I had sitting around the house. As I'm packing, it went into a box that was marked inventory for eBay. That way, when I moved, I already had a set inventory to start with. I was not putting any money into it. I used like my printer I had, anything I had, I used to get started. But the biggest thing you got to remember, if you're doing eBay, try to make sure you keep that just like any business. Keep that separate from your personal income. Because if you don't, you're going to get yourself in a bind. So what you want to do is keep that money in your eBay reselling or whatever eBay or whatever platform you sell on. Keep it in that account. Keep it separate from your personal. Because that way you can see that money growing, and the more you put into it from your sales, the more you can then replenish it with more inventory to where you're not taking any money out of your pocket. Then you're going to be able to make that decision that if you have enough of capital in your account, then you can make that decision, because then you will then take all your bills of what you know you're going to be running the business with and see if you can still make it. If not, then you might need to hustle a little bit more to make more better sales or better buys to then improve your sales to get that money built up to where you need it. That is my opinion, remembering that everybody has their own ways. That doesn't mean it's right or wrong. It's because that's how they're doing it for them. So every business plan is different.
Hey,
Anybody
Johnny,
want to go ahead?
I want to add to that. Also, when you're first starting out, or even when you've been doing this for 5 or 10 years, it's really important to, when you're first starting out, you're not going to have a whole lot of money to put into inventory, right? So what you want to do is don't go and pick up, I can get this cup for $5 and I can make $1 profit. You have $5 invested in something that's going to sit there until you sell it and you get that $5 back. You want to get stuff that is cheaper that you can make a bigger profit on. Get something that's $5, at thrift store, so you can make $20 profit on it. So that's really important. And I think that's something that new sellers don't always think about, because they're like, I can make $1 on this. Yeah, but you only have $30. You got to be careful what you buy.
Exactly.
So,
hello, Harry Humstone. Also saw some comments here how people make their own decisions. The more you list, the more you sell. The more you sell, the better your income, and of course, on and on and on. So, anybody else want to talk about that topic that we just?
I got one more thing to say.
Go ahead.
Since what Johnny said, I think eBay used to do a commercial that said everybody has $1,000 to $2,000 worth of stuff laying around your house to sell. So Johnny's plan actually is a good plan, I think. Just sell the things you have. Use that to get your money to start buying more inventory. Just want to say
exactly. And I'm seeing a comment from DC Sales about you. You have to change your mindset. You don't have to pay that paycheck coming in for the next week. So you change your life, your spending, and money plans. Exactly.
Can I say Can I say something, Johnny, real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I also want to say that this selling community is just absolutely the best ever community I've ever been in. No matter who sells what, nobody's cutthroating each other and not giving secrets because, they're going to make this or they're going to make that. We're all in this together. Like you were saying earlier, everybody has a different platform and how they sell things. And just make sure you have quality stuff that you're putting out there.
Exactly.
Quality, I mean, I can tell you how many arguments we would get in because a zipper was busted or it had a little nick in it or the soles were, and that makes a big difference. And just being careful how you buy. We check zippers and buttons with everything that we buy, and we check soles on everything that we buy. And just how well this community just reaches out. And I mean, I got people I never even watch a YouTube channel and send a question, and within an hour I got an answer. It's just awesome.
Right. Now, one of the things I do want to comment on that too, as far as when you're outsourcing, don't be afraid to use your apps. Don't be afraid to look at comps. Because like what Victoria was saying, for me, and this is just my plan, if I cannot double my money of what I'm spending, it's not for me. And I noticed that Kayla posted in her chat that she is buying and reselling because it's not going into the landfills, because then you're giving somebody else a treasure that you found at a discounted rate to where you're still going to make money from it. But for me, that's my plan. Everybody else is different. But if I can't double my money or more, it's staying there. I'm not going to waste my time. I did it at the beginning when I did start watching, and this is just me, my way of thinking when I first started trying to get all the knowledge of watching everybody doing what they're doing, watch this bolo, that bolo, and this bolo. Well, I never followed the bolos at the beginning because I would never find them, and when I do, it wasn't the right price that I wanted to pay to be able to have a great return on ROIs, so I left it. But again, don't jump into those the bolos because somebody else is saying it's a great sell. Because again, it may not sell where you're located, where you might not be able to find it for a cheaper price, depending on where you're sourcing. Anyone wants to touch bases on that?
If you're looking for a bolo, you're failing already, in my opinion. If you're out there only looking for bolos, you've already failed. I cannot stand that term, bolo. Oh my God, this is a bolo. First of all, every item in the world is a bolo. You should be on the lookout for everything. If it's profits, you should be on the lookout for it. But yeah, I do want to say this. Please don't chase your business. And what I mean by that, like, let it come naturally. I know there's a lot of people who are like literally chasing the business. And what I mean by that, like, you're doing things that you know it's not working, but you're continually putting money into that thing. I recommend whatever you do start your business off with, do not add another dime into that business until you feel comfortable with how your business is starting. So if you do have that $30 and you start off with $30, like Johnny said, I'm a firm believer in that. I recommend that. Start a whole new bank account. Whatever you want to do with your reselling business, start a whole new bank account. Do not mix the two because it's going to confuse yourself. You're going to start buying items from your personal account for your reselling business, and then when it sells, it's going to go in your business. Don't just stay away from all that. You want and you'll see exactly how everything's going to lay out. So anytime something goes in your business, make sure after that item sells, that money goes right back into your business. Literally pay yourself.
Yep.
That's what you're going to have to do. Pay yourself. Don't look at it like nothing else, but you're paying yourself. So find a way that you need to pay yourself and actually pay yourself. And that's the best way businesses survive. And stop saying list too. I'm about all my aggravations. Stop saying that. Don't list. List good quality items. Yes. I'm tired of people going out there telling y'all the list, and they're listing crap. They're listing stuff that will never sell. Or that if it sells, it's going to sell in 7 years. People ain't telling you stuff like that. So do not do that, man. Check sales comps at all times. Yes. Obviously, we take chances on items, but make sure we're always checking sales comps and stop saying list, just a list. Quality is not what it's hitting for. You want quality.
Preach it, Dante. Exactly.
Can I give you a quick hint?
And one of the things we're
outsourcing, we use Terapeak in the back office. Everybody can get it on their mobile phone, and we usually go for items that are, within 20 to 25% sell-through rate on a 90-day selling. And there is a way to use your back office on your mobile phone. I actually had a video put out on it.
Yeah, well, if you can get that link to that video that you had that you sent me, put that in the chat too, by the way.
Sure, absolutely.
You did talk about it in that video. What I was going to say real quick, like Dante was saying, I don't mean go list. Like I was saying, if you're sourcing, don't look at what people are selling it for. That's what they want.
Yes.
Go by what's sold. That is a bigger misconception that I see on a lot of videos when they're scanning it and they're saying that's what it's going for, and you see it in black, knowing they didn't change it to what's sold. That is wrong too. Please make sure you're checking on the sold comps, so you can get an actual idea of what they're selling for, of what you're trying to sell. Now, real quick, here's the comment I found with Kayla. She said that it's not about the money for her, it's about the saving the things from the landfill and sending them to people who will love them and appreciate the item. So anybody else wants to comment about what we just talked about the listing situation?
Well, you were saying about the item that you can get this for, you can get that for. You know how many friends call us up and say, "Oh, I got this item, I can get $200 for it," and then you sell it for them, and you only get like $50, and they're like, "Well, why do you sell for $50?" That's what they're getting for it.
Exactly.
So that is
Got
something
to be careful.
Yes.
Let's see. Everybody's saying hello. Good morning. Again, the thing about the business plans, if you have any questions, go ahead and put it in the chat. I'm trying to get through the chat. I see a lot of people just saying hello to each other, so I'm kind of going through that as well. So anybody else wants to touch bases on that particular topic?
I got some stuff to add.
All right. I'll get to you. There you go.
All right. So like with all the game stuff that we've got going on, our plan was to open a video game store back up by Phoenix. And then when COVID hit, that like we were 2 days away from signing the contract on the lease. I had display cases in the storefront, the whole works, and that's when they shut everything down. We both ended up with COVID, so we couldn't work. My work wouldn't let me come back even after I was cleared. So like Dante and a lot of other people, we were down to our last $20. And I told my wife, let's try the eBay thing, and that's how we got going. Like, you know, what do we do? I think I'm trying to think who somebody here had asked. I thought it was the nicety seller. But like for us, some of the stuff that I have in the games, I'll hold on to it for a rainy day instead of just going ahead and selling it. I know some people are like, oh my God, it's expensive. Just go ahead and get rid of it. But that's the stuff that sells quick. Games sell quick. Some games are junk games, but most games do sell really quick, and you can make good money on them, especially yard sales. Thrift shops, Goodwill started to raise the price on them, especially out here. So that's something that we stay away from, is the Goodwill ones usually. But like yard sales, I picked up a whole stack this weekend for, I think, $5 for like 12 games. So there's a lot of money in the game stuff. I know other things, sports stuff, there's money in. It's something that I didn't grow up around sports, so we need to work on that. But you can start with $20. You just got to invest it in stuff that's going to sell fast and for a lot more money. Like random cups, that this was some free stuff that we picked up, but this thing might sell for $5. Don't invest in that. Don't do it. Get stuff that's going to move quick for good money.
I like what you said, though. It was free. That's what matters. Let me more myself back real quick, because I want to make sure. I saw a comment that I want everybody to talk about too. I saw, let's see, business plans is about how to get about your business, not necessarily your budget or your income needed. Daily spend basis is how the right to have the financial discipline. But I want to get to the comment I just saw, and I'm trying to get to it because I saw BMOS with a question statement. Where it went? Knowing the number of the bigger, yeah. Where is it? I'm trying to find it. Here we go. BMOS wants to know about, in her situation, she's disabled. And people like me that are forced into reselling because they have to go on disability. It should not matter your life situation. It's all in what you do with the business part of it yourself. I'm going to speak on this real quick because I am on disability, but I guarantee you it was not an easy ride from where I'm at today. I had to go through and prove, and that's why it's important that you keep business separate from your personal. Because when I went to prove that when I moved from Louisiana to here in Massachusetts, that was a whole different ball game. So I had to start showing my income from what I was getting with my 1099s at the end of the year, because I claim everything. I don't hide nothing from the IRS because I don't want the I, the R, and the S come knocking at me. So the important thing is you want to keep it as a business, because when I went to do my taxes, and my tax lady who does my taxes was amazed on how I kept everything from business and personal, because that helped me not to lose my Social Security disability. Will I need it? It takes care of my personal medicals, yes. But for business wise, that's why I'm keeping the money into the business, because you don't want them to come and start taking away from your disability if you're not showing the proof of your expenses and your income, and you're keeping it in the business format. Anyone else wants to talk about that? Larry, you muted. You're shaking your head no, but you muted. I think everybody's muted. What happened? Everybody got themselves muted.
We're being respectful.
Following the rules.
Thank you. So if anyone wants to talk about this topic.
Well, touching on what you talked about, one of my really close reselling friends, Star from Flippin' Hippos, she hurt herself at work, and she helped her boyfriend get the business started, and she pretty much has back issues, and she does all kinds of videos on how to run a business being handicapped. And I just wanted to comment on that.
There you go, BMOS. And if you can, while we're doing this, if you have the able to get the links, put them in the chat so that everybody else can start checking out. Hello, Tom. How are you doing? Good to see you. Hope I didn't miss anybody's questions. I am trying to go digitally through the chat so I don't miss anybody, and I'm also trying to say hello in the chat as well. So with everything that we've been talking about so far, does anyone have anything to add to it when it comes to getting yourself situated if you're part-time, thinking about going full-time for maybe something that we didn't touch on?
Well, it sort of links into what you had said before, but about the IRS. I've always kept track. I mean, I've been doing this for 30 years, but I've always turned in all of my stuff to the IRS and how much money I make and do all my deductions and all that stuff. But when I was a kid, the person who lived next door to me did not do that, and the IRS came and took his house, and he owed a lot of money. So that was a life-changing experience that I saw firsthand. I was like, I do not want that to happen.
Right.
So I've always been 100% on here's what I make and here's all my deductions. But I think that's a good point, is that you got to make sure that this is a business. You have to take care of it like a business. And all the people out there that complain that now they're going to send you if you make over $600, they're going to send you your thing. You should have always been doing that anyway. So I think that's something that whenever I see somebody say, I'm going to quit because they're now going to send me this document on how much I sold, it doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. Well, that's one of the things too I noticed when I first started. Even though I started in July, when I first started setting up for eBay, I still got a 1099 and I didn't sell a lot. But you know what? I was glad I did, because I had my own spreadsheet to report it, because I'm reporting every penny. I don't want nobody come knocking on my door and saying I owe anything, and you want to. And if they ever want to audit the boxes, all the information's labeled in the box of what I got. You have to do that as a business.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny, can I add something that?
Yes, ma'am. Go for it.
It's not really money related, but it's time related when you're starting or even when you're working. And I have to work on myself with this every single day. Stay off of YouTube lives when you're trying to get work done. Because if you're like me, you're not going to do the work. You're going to be chatting away. Because and a lot of people are like me, I think. We can't do both of them at the same time because we want to see what everybody else is saying. So stay off of YouTube lives. Yeah, go for a couple of them, like in the morning while you're having your breakfast, you're having your coffee. In the afternoon, if there's an auction to get more inventory or whatever. But don't just go to these lives just to go to a live. You know what I'm saying? Use your time wisely. That's what I'm trying to say.
Unless it's a Prison to Profit live. If it's a Prison to Profit
or an
live,
Adventures with Victoria.
Or a Two Hip Chicks every Tuesday and Thursday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
There's certain ones you want to make time for, but again, I understand what Victoria's saying, because I see when I am working, and again, I'll have something playing in the background, whether it's a pre-recorded on my watch list or whatever. I still see a lot of people that saying I can't get things listed because of this, or I can't get things listed. Those are just general excuses. Anything you're trying to get done work-wise, do that first. Like I always say, time management. Do a time block. If you want to spend 15 minutes just taking a break and watching somebody on YouTube, that's fine. But make sure you're getting your work done at the same time, because then you're actually hurting yourself from not listening. Because I see so many people doing listing challenges, listing lives, and I forget the name of the group again, the Lazy Listers Anonymous. I'm sorry, but I can't be part of that because I'm constantly busy. One of the things I also want to mention, I have, again, just recently started Amazon. And guess what? Everything that I buy or sell in Amazon stays in that account. Mm-hmm. If I'm not buying something that I'm listing in the store and is going on Amazon, I'm paying for it right then and there before I leave. And it can be sold before I leave. It don't matter. But again, I'm paying it through my Amazon account. I'll keep every account separate to make sure I'm accounting for the incoming and outgoing all in one account. So that's one of the biggest things you have to do. Important.
Keeping a journal also keeps yourself busy and occupied. And the other thing is to keep the motivation going. We listen to a lot of motivation speakers. That we run them like as soon as we wake up and pretty much through the day. And then I'll sit down and I'll just let the YouTube yard sale videos run through and stuff like that. But as far as motivation, there's so many groups out there that you can get on. And like I was touching earlier, so many people out there to help you, and nobody's out to really hurt you.
Exactly. And that's what this community is about. Go ahead, Victoria.
I was going to say a to-do list really helps me stay focused. Mm-hmm. A to-do list. Because then, it feels so good to cross something off of that to-do list, you know? One, there you go, Patrick.
And keep a log of your running numbers in your office too, so you can see how well you're doing or not doing, and then you can touch on where you need to work on or what you don't need to work on.
Exactly.
And also, I also want to touching on what everybody talked about. Build one platform at a time. Don't try to build 5 platforms at one time. That is just. We did that in the beginning. We tried to get. I think we were like at 1,500, and our goal was 2,000. And we just like boom, boom, boom. We pumped out like 600 listings. Well, guess what? 6 months later, we had to go back and fix about 400 of them because we were just boom, boom, boom. We were so fast about it, not paying attention to get what you guys were talking about earlier, the quality of the listing.
Yep.
You know, we were just getting it up just to get it up.
BMOS, I'm not making jokes because it's I know it's not serious, but it's just I love the way y'all do have that group, and it's just something that somebody says, well, Johnny would never be part of it. Well, yeah, you're right about that. Good morning, Des. How are you doing? Good to see you. And again, if you have any questions in reference to how are you planning your move from either going from part-time to full-time, and the questions were like, what do you do and plan for going full-time? And that's basically what it was. Dawn says she keeps a running spreadsheet. Will keep your eyes on what you're currently making for the week, month, and year. And that is so true. You got to keep yourself motivated, but you also got to keep everything on a spreadsheet, or however you keep your booking, to make sure you see where you're going. Type of mastermind group. Okay. So yeah, if you have any questions, make sure you put it in the chat. So any final thoughts on this particular topic? If everybody wants to go around and talk about it again, it's in general. Remembering that everybody does their awesome way of they doing their business for their reason, because that's what fits them. Remembering that everybody who does their way of their business is not necessarily a perfect plan for you. But again, if you take something from every person that may help you, that's what we're here for. Remember, you can always reach out to anyone who has been on the panel, and I'm sure they have no problems with reaching out and answering back to you on their social media pages. Also, don't forget that if you have a question, please put it in the chat. That's also community here looking at getting it for free. And again, if you get it for free, that's even better. I love getting things for free as much as I can. Doing good here. Well, you have a full panel this morning. Yes, we do. The topic is about going full time, and we had some questions, and that's why this topic came up. And I reached out to several people, and everybody said that you see here automatically said yes without even hesitating. So that's another thing I want to say. I'm very grateful and honored to have each and every one of y'all here today, because if it wouldn't be for you, everybody would not be able to hear a little bit of what everybody has on their way of doing their business. Janine says, as a business owner, don't forget your deductibles. Yep, they got a lot of it too. So if anybody wants to make a final thought or a comment in reference to this particular topic, at the same time, we'll go ahead and get right in the show. And if anybody wants to come on, I will drop the link on in the chat after we get to that part. Go ahead and let everybody know a little bit about maybe your final thoughts on this topic, a little bit about you trying to promote your channel, please. And then also what platforms you sell on. And so I'll go in order of when y'all came in, and we'll start with Larry without one. And at the same time, I don't know if Jennifer's still here, but if we can get the link dropped in the chat, or if you can drop your own link to your channel while we're doing this, please do so.
Jennifer had to leave. She left a note in the chat.
Okay, thank you.
First thing is I've watched everybody's videos from everybody on here, but Gnome and Frog, so I'll have to check you guys out. But I've watched videos from everybody else that's on this, which is great. And Dante, I've watched a lot of your videos. So I think the important part is that everybody's different. It depends where you're at in your life, what you want to do. A lot of people have been able to make the change to full-time because of their situation, because their job went away or they just couldn't stand it. But I think if you can prep for it, you're better off, which I feel like I'm in a great spot to retire. I've been working towards this goal. I have my debt doesn't really exist. I still own my house and my car, but that's it. And my house will be paid off in 3 years or something. So I'd have a good financial status. And again, I think some things from outside of eBay, the Dave Ramsey comments, Dave isn't perfect on everything, but I think he has a really good idea on you don't want to be a debt. And there's some other people out there that are like that, but you want to make sure that you don't dive into it and you live in Manhattan or Long Island or someplace like that, and your expenses are $8,000 a month, and you can't. There's no way to just jump into doing eBay and cover that kind of expense. If you live in the Midwest, it's a lot easier. But if you live, on either of the coast, you really got to make sure you got your stuff on the line before you try to go full time. That's
all
it.
Right. Gary?
Yeah, I mean, what he said, don't just, as some of us did, don't just jump straight in. But we were saving up inventory for a store, so that did help.
Yep.
One thing that I wanted to say was I noticed, like, right after I quit my job, I would just go through and grab a tub and just start just listing whatever was in it. And sales did kind of drop off even from going part-time. But like Dante said, you need to list stuff that's good. And that's what I wasn't doing. So to help offset things that aren't worth as much, I would list a few high dollar, fast selling things for the day. And then I would jump into the not as good items because they're still sitting here and they still got to get listed. But at least then I knew that I was going to get some sales through the day to make up for the time I was spending on the things not worth so much money. And I did that every day, and everything picked right back up to where it was and actually got better. But I would say don't cherry pick your whole inventory and get like just the best stuff, because eventually you are going to get stuck with the things that aren't worth as much that you're going to have to list. And on our channel, it's more, I know everyone does something different with the channel and the way they list and everything else. But on our channel, it's more of, if you don't have any money to start out with, here's how you can get things done on the cheapest possible budget that you can do. Just to try to help people not have to go out and, oh my God, I got to have this, it's super expensive. I got to get that's super expensive. No, guys, you can start with hardly nothing and build this up. The storage, everything that we've done, I did on purpose to show how cheap that it can be done for people that are wanting to start out or even start part-time. So, I mean.
All right. Now we're going to Daniel.
Oh, so I'm glad you had me on. Glad to be here. Glad to share what I could. It's nice to meet everybody in the panel. I've seen probably half of the panel's videos. So, yeah, Prison to Profit. He's probably the celebrity here. He has some good videos, and I like his videos. I like his videos because he does what I do. He does the liquidation bins a lot, and he's all around too. So, I want to be more like that and show more eBay now because I do a lot of Amazon and it's worked out really well for me. Everybody's different. A lot of people don't want to even give it a chance. Me, I'm different. I'm willing to give things a chance, and I'm open-minded. So I've sold on Mercari before. I could still continue to do that, and I'm just glad to be here. On my channel, if you want to see anything about Amazon FBA or eBay, that's what I show. So thank you for having me on.
All right, now we're going to go to Larry, a little stash.
Well, I just want to say thank you for the invite there, Johnny. I had fun on this. I know pretty much everybody on the panel, and I don't really have nothing else to add to what's already been said. I mean, everybody's been great, and I've been listening and been learning some more. Stuff and getting some more tips.
There you go. That's all it's all about, networking and collaborating with others. Dante? You're muted.
Oh, I thought we had like 3 more people to go. Okay. First of all, I just want to say thank you, Johnny, for inviting me on. All these guys had a bunch of great advice. It doesn't matter who you are. We can all learn from each other. I learn from everybody on a daily basis. So, I don't know it all. I just do know this one thing. If you take anything into reselling, please take this. Your business is going to run how you run. If you're a lazy person, don't get into reselling. I'm going to let you know that now, because reselling, although it is not hard work, it is work. It's consistent work. I probably put in a lot more hours than I was working my old job. But the difference is I'm doing it at my own time, at my own pace. And it's not as stressful, especially getting yelled at by somebody else. But it's just like, guys, everybody has something within them. Like I'm a firm believer in this. Check, sold, comps at all times, and like everybody else is saying about your businesses, keep your businesses separate. Like all the advice that you heard, please take it to heart, because you can really be successful. I'm probably the worst person when it came to like everybody saying make sure that you have a plan before you start. I wasn't like that. I literally started. I was in debt when I started. I pretty much didn't have no money to my name when I started, and look at where I am now. I can honestly say I would be out of debt right this moment if I didn't just buy a new car that that's pretty much paid off. But I will, and that's crazy that reselling did all this for me. Like reselling got me out of debt. Reselling changed my entire life. Reselling got me a baby, guys. Like
I was gonna ask you that because I saw something about now that eBay is paying for your diaper.
Yeah, like
congratulations.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm about to have a whole child, and
congratulations.
Just to think, like last year, if I was, or 2 years, gosh, I've been reselling for a long time now. 3 years ago, if I was working my normal job, me having this baby, I would have never gotten to spend the time that I'm going to be able to dedicate to my child coming, like for me, that's what it's about. Like I can sit here and give you all kinds of advice about what you should do as a reseller, but for me, it's about a better way of life for us, you know, and reselling did that for me. Like reselling brought so much joy, man. I struggled through so much, man, and it's like reselling saved my life. I'm not about to go because I was about to go on a whole rant, so I'm gonna stop right now. Thank you guys so much for dropping in, and thank everybody for a wonderful advice. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you, everybody in the chat. I am not a celebrity. I'm just a regular guy. Johnny's more famous than I am.
Okay, real quick, talk about your channel.
Oh, it's Prison of Profit.
Victoria.
First off, I want to say congratulations, Dante. That is so exciting. A whole child.
I love it.
Second, I want to say thank you to Johnny for having me on here. This has been a lot of fun, and I learned a ton of stuff. Oh my gosh, Dante is a fountain of information. I just love him, but I learned a lot of stuff from every one of you. And you guys, that's my takeaway, and that I hope that's your takeaway is this particular show today has so many really good tips, really good information. Save this show in your watch later list and rewatch it. Take notes. There's so much here, you guys, that you probably didn't even, especially those of you that haven't been here the whole show, you didn't hear everything. And maybe you did hear it, but it didn't sink in. So rewatch it. That's my tip for you. That's my takeaway.
You gave me chills, girl. Thank you.
Like me, I'm old, so I have to watch it a few times to sink in.
Well, I want to thank everyone, and I want to thank Johnny for reaching out. I just started following you about 6-8 months ago, and getting a different side of the reselling community is really awesome. The takeaway from this is discipline. I've learned that 80% of any of this that you're doing is discipline, and the 20% is just saving the money. Getting back to what I started in the very beginning, start with free or $20 or $10 and just do not touch that money. Work your other full-time job until you feel comfortable enough that you have enough to pay for your bills and your lifestyle, and then go from there. Positive, listen to positive. We put positive in our lives in the last 3 years and started giving to charities and stuff through what we're earning through the business, and our life has just drastically changed 180 degrees. Never saw this coming. I saw myself living off Social Security and worrying about how the government was going to help pay my bills. So I'm very, very blessed, and thank you all.
Control. That's right. All right, Patrick.
Why, yes, hello. My name is Patrick Murphy, and I have no profound wisdom to share with you. I can only share my experience, and my experience is that if you hang around positive people and you listen and you apply just a little bit, you might do something.
Amen.
So, and I'm very blessed to be here, and I apologize for being late, but again, that's part of my own time. The host reached out to me. John was very kind. I said, hey, you went to 8:30. I already struggle with that whole early morning thing. I've been up too late when I'm in Larry's and Victoria's chat, and they know that. But again, that's part of I love staying up all night, and this platform, or the platforms that I sell on and part of, it allows me to do that. I don't have to do the from 9A to 5-6P. You know what I mean? I can do it when I feel comfortable and stuff of that nature. And look, there's going to be a fountain of knowledge and do this, do that, do this. Look, man, take what you need, leave the rest. Don't just think just because somebody said it, or you see somebody doing it and then you try to do it and you fail. Look, not everything is for everybody. Pick what works best for you. And who knows that? Who knows that probably better than anybody else, and you're not going to believe when I say it? You are the one who knows you better than anybody. With that, ladies and gentlemen, be good not only to each other, but most importantly, be good to that person staring back at you every single day in the mirror.
Amen.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Go ahead.
Guys, I know there's several people in the chat, 45 people in the chat. Normally when I'm in chats, I forget to do this sometimes. I forget to smash that like button. So if you haven't smashed that like button, go ahead and smash that like button for your boy.
Thank you. Now, one of the things I do want to say is, first of all, I always watch Dante from day one. And I think of each and every person that I watch on YouTube that I I do try to watch everybody, but again, that's never possible. But one of the things I do have to say is I myself watch those who are positive. That becomes my motivation to be able to do what I want to do and improving myself. But again, everybody here, I can honestly say I'm very thankful and grateful to call my friend, because if it wouldn't be for each and every one of you who are always here in the morning, this show would not be possible. But one of the things I want to prove today, if you have a topic you want to talk about, this is what can happen if you send me your information of what you want as a topic, because I reached out to those who I know would be involved and has done this particular topic, and it has been completely different than what I expected. And again, I love doing this kind of stuff for everyone, helping everybody. I may not have all the answers, but I guarantee you I always know somebody I can reach out to get here to help you on a topic you might want to know about. So please reach out to me on any of my social media pages. All that is in all my descriptions of my videos. Also, don't forget that every Monday night is 5 o'clock, fun night at bingo night here on this channel, and it's free to play. Also,
hey Johnny, before you end, can I give one more tip? You just reminded me something. Johnny said he watches positive people. You guys, you're shaping the person and the business. You're shaping your business and your practices and the way that you run your business by the people that you hang around with. So if you're hanging around with those positive, influential people that are the positive, influential people, the people that are actually trying to help you build your business or your what is it called? Your yourself for the day. Right. Your positivity for the day. You're going to be positive that day. You're going to be, in a good mood, and you're going to know how to do stuff. And you're going to, you know what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So make sure that when you choose the people that you follow, the people that you watch on a daily basis, keep that in the back of your mind. Are they benefiting you? Are they lifting you up? Are they helping you? They're not going to be, don't follow those people that are going to be always have drama, always be bringing you down, always be talking about other resellers. That's not who you want to follow. Right. Just saying.
Yeah.
Can I add to that real quick?
Go ahead.
With what Victoria was saying, we took a challenge and decided, I'm a big social guy and Dave's not. We took a lot of negative out of our social lives and even our personal lives and added the positive. And it, like I said, it's just changed leaps and bounds about what we're doing. And just being positive every day that's the thing, like Victoria was saying. And, set yourself goals every day and follow the positive people. And even if you listen to they say the first 10 minutes of the morning is what gets your day started. So just going from that.
That is true. And like I said, that's what I always say too. If you have an idea or a topic you want to talk about, send me those information of topics you want, because you just never know how big I can get a panel together for a particular topic that I can have others come together and reach out and keep that information going for you. Because remember, everyone may do something different, but it's what that works for them. But what you pull from it and implement it into your life or your business is going to help you, not break you. So we're here to help you. We're here to support you. And so, like I say before, in each and every show, before we do leave,
can I get $1?
Thank each and every one of you. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. And anybody who was saying something?
Can I get $1?
Can you get $1?
Can I run something out there real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to say, and I brought my wife up a little bit. She has helped a lot with this. As far as when she met me, I wasn't really that positive of a person. I didn't focus on the good things. Something could be good right here, but something bad is over there. So I wasn't very positive, and I've come a long way with that because of her. And then getting into this actual community of people where everybody's positive, that's what we listen to here while we're working, while we're listing or whatever, is everybody else. And just the positivity has between her and everybody else has helped a lot. So I just want to thank everybody and thank her for helping me be a more positive person and not focus on the negative all the time.
And what's awesome too is that she quit her job to work side by side with you in the same business.
Yeah.
That's what's awesome about it. So always remember, you can always come to the channel if you have any questions or topics, and reach out to me. If you have anything, again, I always do help behind the scenes. So if you ever need any help, please reach out to me as well. Again, Katie came in the chat. So again, thank you, Katie, for being here. And congratulations again on the, as Dante said, the whole baby.
Congratulations.
Congrats, Katie.
Congrats.
Congrats, Katie. Hey, Katie, I will buy, I can't even say it. I will, crap, what's it called? I will babysit anytime.
All right, now write that down.
And ignore those naysayers. That's just the number one thing. Ignore the naysayers.
Exactly.
It's gonna be hard, man.
And like I say before, in each and every show, does anybody have any other last comments or points they want to put out before we end the show?
Hashtag Katie Preggers.
There you go.
Love you guys.
As I say before, in each and every show, I will be back before I do.
Everyone have an awesome day.
Let me get the link real quick, because that way, if anybody would like to come on after the show, if there's room, you're welcome to come on after the show ends. So I'll put the link in the chat now and post it at the top, pin it, and that kind of thing, and we're going to end the show. Again, thank y'all, each and every one of y'all. Remembering the show will be up. It will be able to, the chat will go with it. So if you want to catch anything that we did talk about or questions, you're more than welcome to help the video and learn more from what you might have missed, or if you came in late. As I say before I end each and every show, love always, love is always free. Please be kind to one another until we meet into another chat. Have a blessed and fabulous day, and until we meet again, later. Peace out.
Bless somebody today.
That's right, and bless somebody today.
Hotness.